Welcome back to Getting It Done with Uncle Tej. I'm Uncle Tej. Today, for around $32. So, like I said, it will get messy. It will flow. Welcome back to Getting It Done with Uncle Tej. Today, we are going to unbox this track for a barn door that's going to go down the hallway here, and I'm going to show you how to do it, so stick around. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is pull out the old Kershaw, and we're going to unbox this thing. We're going to see what's in here. So you get these off of Amazon. They're super cheap. Do not waste your money anywhere else, like in any of the big box stores, because these things do just as good a job and they don't cost half as much money. So and you can tell it doesn't cost half as much money because look at that chunk. My gosh, whatever. Alright, so we've got, looks like a parts kit. It's like some instructions. And we've got the rails. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Alright, so they're all stuck together. Let's look at the instructions. Listen guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're not reading instructions, you're an idiot. Instructions are so much nicer to read than try to just figure it out on your own. So there's the instructions. Obviously it was stapled together and now it's not. So let's keep unboxing it. Again, the old Kershaw. So this is the part where I'm going to go through everything that came with the kit to put this rail up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the instructions. Right there's the parts list, and I'm going to go through and make sure that everything on the parts list is in the box. So we don't have any missing parts. We have everything we need to be able to complete this project, which thankfully it came with everything we needed. Alright, so what I'm showing you right now is how you are going to mount the rail. That is the foolproof way to not have your door fall off your wall. That's a 1x4 piece of pine that I have just primed and then painted, and then we'll drill some holes and we'll mount the rail system up there. I'm telling you, don't do it any other way. Don't use those stupid anchors. I'm telling you from experience, it does not work. So let's mount the rail system. Alright, I'm going to give you the only exception that you would ever need to use these. If you are in Florida and you live in a house that's built with cinder blocks, these are the perfect anchors. These are the only anchors to use. Other than that, do not use these for any reason. It even says right here in the instructions, if you meet the following situations, we highly recommend you using a header board. There it is. Make sure you use something that you can mount your lag bolts to, that your lag bolts will actually go into and actually hold. Again, do not use it for drywall. Alright, so as we're reading the instructions here, making sure we get everything good, right? It's, you want to put the track, okay, the middle of the track, the height of the door, which is a custom door. We get to make custom doors because we like to do stuff around here, plus 1 and 17/32. That is ultra precise. We are not machining something to the standards of NASA. So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify it and go to 1 and 9/16. Now, the 16th marks, just in case you don't know, they're the little marks in between the 8th marks. You can see that mark, an 8th mark, a 16th mark, an 8th mark. Okay, so 9/16 is right there. A 32nd is in between. You can see on this tape measure right now, there are no 32nd marks. It's because carpenters don't generally have to go to the 32nd mark. So We're gonna make it easy and go to 1 9/16. All right, another thing that they're calling for is a minimum. You see this minimum measurement, G right here. You go down to G right here. Minimum distance from the top of the door to the ceiling is 5 inches. Okay, so top of the door, right there, ceiling, 5 inches. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece of track right here. Okay, we're gonna take it and we're gonna place this right here to make sure that we've got plenty of room. Okay, so we're gonna take this right to there. We've got plenty of room to be able to get that on there. Then we're gonna take the old Ticonderoga and we're gonna make a mark right in the middle. And then we're gonna measure down where it needs to go. We are sitting at just under, so we're looking at just under 3.5 inches. So we're just going to measure down 3.5 inches. So I'm going to come down over here, measure down 3.5 inches. Right? And I'm going to make my mark. Then I'm going to take this ridiculously long level, put it right there, and I'm going to make sure it's level. It's level all the way across because this trailer does not necessarily have level lines, and I'm going to make a line all the way down. So then, boom, we have our line. You can see I went down a little further, and that's not a big deal. It's all right. So that is where we're going to hang our track, right in the middle. And we'll go all the way to the wall, and we'll hang the track right in the middle. As you can tell, once again, you take our little our roller, that is going to be able to perfectly sit right there. We've got enough to get the door on once we get these installed on the door. All right, well, I wasn't recording when I put the rest of it together, but thank the Lord I can show you the very last bit of how this goes on. So, little beveled spot right there, put it right in there. We'll take this, another right here, put it together. Oh, that one fit tight. There we go, put that on, put the nuts on, get your nuts on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it all nice and neat, hold it with my fingers, tighten these up. Thankfully, these are not your normal crappy Chinese screws that have all kinds of burrs, so they can cut you and not go on properly. Then we're going to take our provided tools, turn it over, tighten it up, tighten it up. So I wanted to use the provided tools so you can see that the provided tools actually work. And we have our track. Feels a little wonky, but that's because it's not on the wall. Give it a second. We'll get it there in a second. All right, now that we've got our rail built, we're gonna, we've already got our line. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it and put it all the way across here and get that bad boy on the line. And we'll start making marks. So put it on the line, make sure it's all on the line, and take the old Ticonderoga, put a mark right there, put a mark right there, put a mark right there, and you just keep going down the line until you got all your marks on the line. And there you go. Now we're going to pre-drill and we'll get this bad boy installed. Alright, now you're going to take a, what size is this? Number 13, the bolt, the washer, and the spacer. And now we got to figure out how we're going to put this on. I'm just joking, I know exactly how we're going to put this on. So the instructions say put this side against the wall, this side against the rail, and instead of putting it on the side and making it difficult for us, we put it in the middle so I can hold it while I screw it in. And you see how easy it is to put in when you pre-drill the hole. Alright, now we'll take this, now that that's on there, we'll repeat the process over here. Since that bad boy ain't going nowhere, it's nice and easy. A lot of times handyman, they're doing it all by themselves, so you got to figure out ways to get stuff done without having extra hands. And so hopefully you learn how to do some things on this channel that allows you to learn how to do stuff with just the two hands you got. And I'll be honest, sometimes helpers get in the way. So, but not on this project. A helper would be nice on this project. All right. I'm not gonna get it all the way. I hate Husky tools sometimes. There's a little nub right there that you're supposed to be able to push a button and it holds everything on. For some stupid reason, the damn thing won't stay on. And you're probably asking me, or yourself, Uncle Teach, why don't you use the fancy tool? Well, to be honest with you, I'm using the normal tools that normal people would have in their normal house that may not be a shade tree mechanic or a handyman. So just kind of trying to put stuff together, content together, that shows that you can use dinky little tools that you might have in your house that allow you to get the job done. Does it take a little bit longer? Maybe. Can it be done? Absolutely. And I wanted to show you it can be done. All right. Two more. Do not over tighten these. When you start to hear wood crack, it's done. You're good to go. All right, now you can see, except for the stickers, we've got a rail. Gotta love it. And that didn't take us. Yes, that was the socket falling off the ratchet again. All right, so there it is. All right, totally forgot a step. This right here, again, wasn't on the instructions. I don't know why they're not putting these things on the instructions, but they didn't. But it's an important step. These are the stoppers for the bumpers for the door so they don't come flying off. So what we're gonna do is before we get the door before we get the door installed. Lord almighty, that thing is tight. Alright, let's see if we can get this loosened up a little bit. These guys want it to be hard to get on, hard to take off. So we're just going to put this on temporarily right here. We're just going to put it on temporarily so my dang arm's not just in the way. Just so it doesn't fall off. And then what we'll do is once we get the door installed, the rollers, which I don't have right here, the rollers will come across here and hit that piece right there, okay? And then it'll also come across and hit the other piece on the other side, so it doesn't, one, come flying off the tracks, and two, it doesn't, yeah, see, this one's way better. Alright. Oh my gosh. You have to put this on before you put the track on, if you're going to go all the way to the wall. Would have been nice. Thanks for the instruction. Alright, as you can see, we didn't have to take the whole track down. That would have been annoying. So, undid this, put this on, redid this, tighten that down. We're good to go. Alright, the top track assembly is now complete. So one of the things I want to share with you is that sometimes these things, they're a pain in the butt to read, right? A lot of times, if you don't have a general idea on, hold on, that was probably super tacky, but I don't care. I love coffee. I love coffee all day long. So, one of the things is if you're not super handy, it's something you've never done before. I've got a very good friend that I'm helping him build his place down the road here. He has never done anything like this. So something as simple as turning a screwdriver is a foreign concept. I want to show people that if you follow the instructions, use deductive reasoning, and then simple hand tools. You can buy this little toolkit right here. All right, the ratchet's still over there. This little toolkit, I think it's like $25 at the Home Depot, or you can go get the Lowe's brand, Craftsman. I like the Craftsman better. This is my buddy's simple tool set, and I wanted you to see that with my buddy's simple tool set, we can install. I want everybody to understand that these things are not hard projects, but there's a procedure to follow. Follow the instructions. Even if the instructions don't tell you to do something, that's where the deductive reasoning comes in. I want to make videos that show people how to do that and have fun doing it, and watch me make the mess ups. You just watch me make a mess up. Every mess up I make, I'm going to leave on it because they're fun. Whatever. Got it done.